Welcome to this podcast on using the macro in operator, presented by Amadeus Software. My name is Anne White and I work for Amadeus, who are experts in SAS and providers of consultancy, support and training for SAS software. Please visit our website www.amadeus.co.uk to find out more information on this podcast series, as well as other services we provide. In the following presentation, I will be showing how you can use the in operator in macros in a similar fashion to using it in a data step, using options available from SAS 9.2. The in operator is commonly used in the data step. It is used in place of using many OR operators to test if a variable has a value equal to one of a list of valid values, making code concise and less repetitive. It is also more efficient, as SAS needs to make only one evaluation rather than many. These two lines of code will produce the same result. The first line evaluates the variable name against 4 character strings using the OR operator. If name equals Judy or does not match any of the strings listed, then SAS will perform 4 evaluations. The second line uses the in operator. No matter what the variable name resolves to, SAS needs to only perform 1 evaluation. The second line is therefore more efficient. If we try to use this same technique in a macro, using %if in place of if, we get an error message and the macro terminates. Here we see that if we use this technique in a macro using a %if statement and an identical syntax convention to the one used on a data step if statement, when we run this code we see in the log the error message that is produced. However, we can use the in operator in a macro when we set 2 SAS system options. These are min operator and min delimiter. Let's first consider the min operator option. This is invoked from the option statement and causes the macro processor to recognize and evaluate the in operator in expressions. It works in a very similar way to the data step, with a few differences. Putting brackets around the values to be evaluated is not necessary. It can't search arrays, either numeric or character. The colon and hyphen separators can't be used to specify ranges. If you wanted to search all the numbers from 1 to 10, then you would need to list them out. Finally, the default delimiter is a blank when used in macros. When used in a data step, the default delimiter is either a blank or a comma. However, the delimiter can be set to something else using the min delimiter option. This option can also be invoked using the option statement. It specifies the character that will be used to delimit the values within the logical expression. The character used can be enclosed in either single or double quotes. Note that only one single character can be specified. It is also important to note that when the in operator is used within a macro, it will use the delimiter specified at the time of compilation. If you need to specify a delimiter to be used for the current macro that may be different from the current delimiter, you can specify it on the macro definition, as shown here. This code demonstrates setting both the min operator and the min delimiter SAS system options. Now, when we run this code, we see that it works fine, producing a proc print of the dataset, and checking the log, we find no errors. Finally, we demonstrate how to use the not logical operator with the in operator. You need to use not outside of the evaluation and use the %eval function. This code demonstrates what will happen if you follow the data step convention and use not in within the macro. When we run the code, the log displays an error message and the macro stops executing. Here we demonstrate how to use not. The %eval function is used around the expression that uses the in operator, and the not is placed before this. If we run this code, we see that it runs with no error messages and evaluates the expression correctly. That concludes this presentation. Thank you for taking the time to watch this Amadeus software podcast. We hope you found it useful. Please make sure to check out the rest of this podcast series via our website. We also welcome any comments or suggestions you may have for future tips. Please feel free to contact us via email at info@amadeus.co.uk, by telephone, or by visiting our website at www.amadeus.co.uk.